Today we're taking another look at the Miniloong Pocket 1. I actually did a quick overview of this console recently, and you can check that video out via the link in the description. As I mentioned before, the main downside of this console is that it only has one analog stick, which really limits its functionality compared to competitors. Basically, right out of the box, the console's maximum potential is capped at PSP level games. But if you want to play titles from the Portmaster library, like Half-Life or GTA Vice City, that's just not going to work properly with only one analog stick. On the other hand, you could argue that the current firmware doesn't support Portmaster yet, and you'd be right. However, Miniloong OS is actively being developed and constantly updated, so there is a good chance we'll see Portmaster support in the future, along with third-party custom firmware like MuOS, Nolly, and similar projects. Still, as of now, I consider the single analog stick to be the biggest drawback of this console. Now let's unbox it and take a closer look at its specs and design. The box comes wrapped in plastic, which I personally love. It gives the product a more premium feel. Inside you'll find a quick start guide with the main specifications. Next, we have the console itself, along with the white USB-A to USB-C cable for charging. Let's take the console out of the bag. This is the white version, and according to the manufacturer, it's priced at just $50. And honestly, for $50, it looks amazing. You're not going to find anything better in terms of build quality at this price point. I'm also really curious about the interchangeable faceplates that were shown in the product presentation. They're supposed to be colored and transparent, allowing you to customize the look of the console. But where do you actually buy them? I couldn't figure that out. It was marketed as a key feature, yet the panels are nowhere to be found. Unfortunately, the manufacturer didn't provide any for this review either, so for now, the killer feature remains more of an idea than a reality. On the plus side, they did include this carrying case. There is a Miniloong logo under the protective film. The case feels very similar in quality to the ones bundled with ManMe consoles. Inside, there's an extra D-pad and a tempered glass screen protector, a nice bonus. I was curious to try the alternative D-pad and see how it compares to the default one. This one feels smoother, with less pronounced directional edges. Personally, I am not a big fan of that. I found the stock D-pad more comfortable for gaming because it provides better tactile feedback for directional inputs. So my pick is definitely the default one. The first thing you should do after powering the console is update the firmware. To do that, enable Wi-Fi and connect to your home network. Once you've selected your network and entered the password, connect to it and check for updates. Go to Device Info and log for firmware version. Here we can see there is an update from March 14, 2026. Go ahead and download it. It takes a while, so be patient. After the update is complete, you can verify the firmware version, and you'll see there are no more updates available. The console runs on the RK3566 processor and comes with just 1 GB of LPDDR4X RAM. It has 8 GB of internal storage for the system and 2 microSD card slots for your game library. It also includes built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. There is a nice 4-inch display with a 60 Hz refresh rate. The battery is 4000 mAh, which is pretty solid for such a compact device. The console weighs 260 grams. In this form factor, it's comfortable to hold, and my hands don't get tired during long gaming sessions. I really like the plastic quality, and the textured grip area helps prevent slipping. The buttons feel great, they're soft, quiet, and look really stylish with the transparent design. The D-pad is also excellent, smooth, responsive, and handles diagonal inputs very well. The analog stick is pretty good too, and it's removable. It's smooth, uses Hall effect sensors, and even has RGB lighting, although the lighting isn't the best. The menu, start and select buttons are well placed and feel nice to press. The bumpers and triggers feel soft, quiet and responsive. Overall, the controls and build quality are on par with the more expensive devices. And before we continue, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Also, don't forget to click the bell icon so you won't miss any new videos. And if you want to support the channel even more, you can hit the hype button. It helps push the video to new audiences and brings even more people into our community. On the top, you'll find the reset button, a USB-C OTG port, a mini HDMI port, volume buttons, and the power button. On the bottom, there are two microSD card slots, a USB-C charging port, and a headphone jack. Unfortunately, the console only has a single speaker located right here. What this console really lacks out of the box is proper graphic settings for the PPSSPP emulator. Because of that, many games struggle with performance. I recommend using basic settings optimized for low-end processors to improve playability. You can find my recommended PPSSPP settings on my Telegram channel in the description box. After applying those settings, GTA Vice City Stories runs noticeably better and smoother, although stutters and FPS drops still occur from time to time. If you compare it to something like the Mio Flip with the same chip, the Mio Flip clearly performs better and gets higher FPS in the same scenes. It all comes down to firmware optimization. As for other game tests, you can check them out via the link in the description box.